Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here again today. I am Peter Goldstein, founder and chief synergy officer at We Did It Health. And I'm very excited to have my dear friend and team member, collaborator, Mariquita Solis with us. And we're going to talk a little bit she's going to talk uh, about relationships, about compassionate relationships with people who are pre-vegan. And of course, that's an important topic for all of us. And with that, we're also announcing our upcoming Winter Festival, which is so exciting. We're going to have some wonderful things going on, excellent presentations, and really great workshops. The intention is to get us through the holiday season in a whole new way so that we can be practicing and so we can have friends and have the community where we can have conversations about the challenges we're facing, have a community where we can practice and learn new skills to get along with our friends and loved ones. And we'll be happy to tell you more about it. But part of this whole winter festival, of course, is Mariquita. And I'd love for her to talk a little bit about some of her work. And Mariquita, please give everybody, in case there's anybody who doesn't know you yet, tell them a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a vegan empowerment coach, and I love working with you, Peter. Thank you for having me as part of the team on We Did It Health, because that's very important to me too. I didn't really know. I've been a vegetarian since 95, then vegan, then vegetarian, kind of flip flopping. And when I met you, maybe it was about a year ago, I was kind of really in this growth period of learning about whole food plant-based. And so that's been exciting for me, and also to go through the different areas of growth in being a vegan and changing to a whole food plant-based diet, seeing how the pitfalls and the addictions, and and how it's not a linear process. So as a vegan empowerment coach, a transformational coach, I help my clients through group coaching or one-on-one go through these processes also through vegan activism, becoming stronger advocates for themselves and for the planet, for the animals. So, but also working on the inner self and going through these little areas that hold us back, right? And one of the areas that we're going to be talking today about is communication and romantic relationships with, I like to say, pre-vegans, because I want to have a positive term there, or like someone else was saying, like you were saying, pregans, because we have to have a safe space, and that's a safe space of hope that we're creating when we use that terminology, right? So, and for me, so I'm on the board of I'm on the Earth Care Board at my church. I'm the leader of the animal ministry, and I'm the leader of the healthy living group. So I'm really working hard to, in everything that I'm developing, bring all that into my teachings, into the way I'm living. So my coaching programs are very in the spiritual aspect of gratitude for animals, gratitude for the earth. Um, and so that's who I am. I want to embrace who I am. Is this whole? And I think that, I mean, there are many levels to who I am. There are many levels to other people as well. And so I want to get away from that black and white thinking of vegan, non-vegan, right? That there's a bunch of gray areas. And when we have interactions with others, whether they're romantic relationships or not, we have a chance to inspire, like you're saying, water the seed of the pre-vegan, or like you said a minute ago, we could be poisoning it, or right, planting a weed. We don't want to plant a weed. We want to be wonderful examples. And so, well, that's a little bit about me. There's a lot more. So,
Way a whole lot more. And with that, I would like to invite everybody to introduce yourselves and say hello, and type your questions and comments in the chat. So This is an open conversation here today. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to answer your questions. I did notice that Peg is with us. Hello, Peg. And Peg is a therapist herself, and I was mentioning about the Thrive and Inspire Festival through winter. And Peg, I don't think we've talked about this yet, but I hope you'll present again. You've been a presenter with us before. Our last Thrive and Inspire through the holidays a year ago. And everybody else, please let us know who you are and who's with us here, and feel free to ask questions. And so, Mariquita, did you have a presentation that you'd like to go through, or just want to have the conversation straight out?
Have a conversation, yes. So
Okay.
a conversation about. I mean, my boyfriend is a pre vegan, right? And so what are the challenges there, right? How is that even possible? I know a lot of people, for them it might not be possible, and that's okay to honor what you're able to do. Like also with the eating with others that are eating traditional holiday meals. If you can do that, then yes, do it and be an example. And if you can't, then know who you are, know your limitations. So I am able to be in a relationship with a pre-vegan. And so that takes a lot of mindfulness. It takes a lot of compassion and empathy for me, because it's very easy to fall into that of judging mind and expecting outcomes, right? I think all of us can be very good at that at some point. Like, I'm going to say this, I'm going to tell him, well, look at all this. Oh, look at all these animals suffering, right? I'm going to say this, and then he's going to say, "Well, I finally got it now," and then I'm going to be happy and I'm going to feel peaceful. But that's not the way that the world is, and that's not the way that people are. People are very complex. I'm very complex. It's not a black and white world, right? Again, he's not only a pre-vegan, and he's not a bad person, right? And he puts up a lot with me, my imperfect self, right? Because sometimes I just want to scream. It's like, because I want him to be in good health. So when I see him eating things that I think are hurting him, it's hard for me. Sometimes I can't stop myself. And then I have to just take a few steps back, right? And be more mindful. But the more I catch myself, the more that I'm aware of my behaviors, the more that I can behave in a more effective manner the next time, right? And speaking through empathy, right? And having empathy for him in the way that I have to have empathy for myself when I was a pre-vegan and I didn't know, or I wasn't ready to change, right? Because there's such a big hold on us that we're not aware of. And we were talking about that, Peter, the hold of, even as a little child, watching the commercials that are just saying, you have to have this, you have to have these, you have to be getting your milk from here, or you're going to be weak, right? So we're just programmed and programmed and programmed and programmed. So we have to have compassion for others, and to be able to look at him and say, well, he's doing his best, and I don't know what his best is, right? I can sit over here and judge him and say, you're not doing your best. And what does that say about me and my compassion? Because for me, veganism is about compassion. So,
Right.
it's about me living the vegan lifestyle, which is compassion for all animals. And he is an animal, a human animal. I mean, you know what he would say right now? He would say, I'm a cat.
Oh, good.
But
Okay.
I would
So
call him a
you
human
would
animal.
be offended.
Yeah, he would be. All right.
Well, so Marquita, I think framing this, where my mind is going and what I'm wondering about then is, well, I suppose there has to be this attraction, this, you're in this relationship, so there has to be a lot of things, other things working in this relationship. So I suppose that would there be a commitment on both sides then? I mean, is he committed then to be open to hear you? I mean, I'm sure we all need to be heard and understood. I mean, that's a basic human need. So he must be committed to giving you a certain amount of space and to hear you, and this is such a deep compassion for you, so I can't imagine a relationship where he's not having some kind of commitment. So can you talk about that? So from the pre-vegan, as we're calling them, the pregans, from their perspective, they what is it that where do they need to be to be in this relationship?
Well, I think respectfulness comes. It's about respectfulness, respecting who we are on our journeys, right? And I think it's Melanie Joy that talks about vegan allies. So he really supports me, and he understands how important this is, and he feels the he knows how I feel about animals, and I mean, it's very easy to say he doesn't care about animals, he eats them, but he does care about animals, right? I mean, on his level, which I don't know what that is. I can't get into his, mind and see. All I can do is be respectful, and for him to respect how important this is to me. So supporting me, and that's what it is about relationships. We have to support each other. So, what's important to him is music. He's very great, very talented. He's a virtuoso um, percussionist. So supporting him when he's out there on stage is super important. Just like he supports me today when we're on stage. So, yeah, it's all about respectfulness and growth. So I'm trying to learn how to play the ukulele, and so getting his help with that. And despite the fact he's not, he's not a ukulele player, but he knows about music. He knows how it's very easy for him. He could pick up the ukulele and start playing it, and it sounded like, like he'd been playing it for years, unlike me. So just being respectful of that and open to learn, I think, is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is such an important topic. And, I look forward as we did at that health community, the Thrive and Inspire community keeps growing. And of course, we have our groups, which are topic centered. And we all look forward to eventually in the near future having a passion pod, as we call our groups, having a passion pod for people who are in relationships with others who are not vegan, and whether they're their boyfriend, girlfriend, or probably even a situation where people are married. So having somebody who's been married for 10, 20 years, and one of the two, for whatever reason, be it health or animal compassion or the climate, one of the two decide to be plant-based. Now they're way deeply committed to each other, and here it is having to deal with those situations. So that is a very important topic for us that we did at that health.
Yeah, and it's really sad that relationships break up over this, because I think we can be together, and a lot of times the person does fully go 100% plant-based or vegan when they're ready. And I know there's a lot of shame, because when I'm leading my groups, people are ashamed to say my partner is not vegan, right? And I want to say there's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, people are where they are on their journey. No one should be ashamed. Just do the best you can. Hold your head high and say, I'm doing the best I can. I think the only shame, shame, let's put it away, right? We want to grow, right? When we're
Yes.
not open to hearing new things and growing, it's really hurtful to ourselves. So, and growing in understanding and compassion and empathy towards others, because that's what it's going to take. If you're in a relationship with a pre-vegan, in a marriage with a pre-vegan, let go of the shame and bring in empathy and compassion. Ask them, tell me what are your thoughts? I want to support you. I want to understand you, right? And how can I help? And maybe you don't want help, and I'm respectful that you don't want help, right? So it now, this might sound all perfect and wonderful, and I'm not saying it's easy. these are things that we can work on and just bring awareness to. It's a challenge for me when I know that he doesn't want to hear it, he doesn't want help, right? And I have to respect that. I have to remind myself he's on his own journey. I can't force him. Just like, again, I say many times, you can't scream at a little seed to hurry up and grow. You can't say, you dumb seed. Don't you know? I planted you. I'm watering you. Why aren't you growing? Right? We have to allow the seed to grow at the seed's pace. And sometimes, well, that's why we might plant multiple seeds in an area. Some seeds grow and some seeds don't. Right. And it depends also on the environment. Is this a loving environment, or are we cussing out the seeds?
Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to now put up our link to the festival, and I'd like to invite everybody to check out. Um, and it's somehow my computer's not wanting to show. There it is. Um, where is it? There we go. Uh, so if you go to wedidit.health/thrive and inspire, you'll find more information on our upcoming festival for the 3-month winter festival through the holidays. So thrive and inspire through the holidays, and these kinds of topics are going to be front and center. We're going to look at a different topic like this one every week for about 10 weeks or so. Because of the holidays, we probably won't meet every week, but almost every week we'll be meeting and covering an important topic such as this one, because it's all about thriving and inspiring, all about being able to be able to do better than just survive. I mean, we go into these situations that are so stressful sometimes, and where we're not seen, where we're maybe belittled and pushed away, and to be able to have the tools and the skills. And so part of the festival here will be an opportunity to practice these skills and role play, to be able to have buddy up with somebody and be able to say, well, here's what I'm up against, here's what I ran into last night, here's I'd love to have a better way to deal with it, I'd love to be able to feel better about it, I'd love to inspire somebody rather than push them away. So definitely check us out, thrive and inspire. We did that health/thrive and inspire, and join us there. So we have of course, you're helping facilitate it, and Dr. Angela Crawford, who's been with us for a very long time. She's written the wonderful ebook that we like to share, How to Inspire 7 Best Practices to Inspire Friends and Loved Ones to Be Plant-Based. And then we also have Dr. Claire Mann playing a very central part in this festival. So check out Dr. Claire Mann, and probably most of you have run across her before. Among other things, she's written the book Vistopia, which is the challenge of being vegan and the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world, which is really huge. And the book is amazing. If you haven't seen it, you haven't read it, I really urge you to do so, because it's eye opening about really understanding all sides of this.
Yeah, and
And
the thing
she
that we did it is doing here, when you're talking about dystopia, Peter, is we want to take you out of dystopia, right? We recognize it, but yet we want to move through that so you're thriving and you're not stuck in this really despair. We want to help you, and that's what you're saying with this community. It's so important to have that support system. And that's what's so beautiful about We Did It Health, and especially with our winter festival. We'll be building, if you're joining us in the winter festival, we're going to be building relationships and friendships that last forever. And what's better than that? I mean, that you have someone to turn to when you feel sad about going out to lunch with a friend and they don't want to hear it, right? They say, well, I love bacon. And you're going home and you're feeling sad, but you've already built your support system, right? I can call Angela, or I can call JJ, right? And say, oh my gosh, I feel so sad, but and they're there to support. So that's very important. And this winter festival is going to be bringing us together. Nothing is better than community. and learning growth, right? I'm so passionate about this, and I'm so honored to be a part of it.
And we're so honored to have you. So somebody else who's a very important part of it is Angela, Dr. Crawford, and and she's talking about it's important to extend compassion to others' journeys. Many of us who are vegan also took time, many seeds planted before we awaken. Wow, that's so true. And to remember that for most of us, some of us, I suppose I've met a very few people who just, and maybe it was because they had a health challenge and somebody said, you know, your health challenge, you can reverse that, and here's what you do. But otherwise, yeah. So, well, for me personally, I've come to this from the human health perspective, and that I got to see right away because I was fortunate to have a friend who was an MD. He retired now, but he prescribed a whole food plant-based diet to his patients. He actually went and found a chef to prepare meals for his patients. So he had his patients subscribe to a 28-day meal plan, lunches and dinners prepared for them, and everybody got healthier. Everybody's blood work changed. Everybody lost weight if they needed to. And to me, I looked at that, I go like, well, this is, all doctors need to be doing this. So that converted me on the spot. But then what happened for me is then it took me a while to really understand about animal compassion. I mean, I had no idea about the animal suffering. I had no idea about what goes on, and so yeah, that took a little bit to see and watch different documentaries and talk to people. But yeah, it's we're all on this journey, and JJ says me too. So JJ's experienced this also, and look at her picture. She's so amazing. She's done such a beautiful job. So yeah, yeah, this is exciting, and this is so important. It's we're not up against a single decision. It's like, okay, I'm going to drive my car today. I'm going to drive east, or I'm going to drive west. It's nothing like that. We're up against these amazingly powerful social pressures and beliefs and misbeliefs and propaganda and all kinds of things. So it does take all those seeds. So, Angela, thank you for the reminder that yes, we actually have, most of us or all of us have really, it's taken seeds. It's taken a lot of seeds, and we have to remember that and be willing to then pay it forward and plant those seeds. And um, yeah, so
Yeah, I think you're so right, and I love that you put up Angela's her quote. So I think what another good thing about the We Did It community is that there are some people that are vegan, but then there are also the whole food plant based people, and so we learn from each other, just like you were saying, Peter. So when you come into this, it's not all exclusively whole food plant based because you're bringing everyone together. So you at We Did It, your one of your missions is to bring the environment into this. Like we're bringing in environment, we're bringing in health, we're bringing in animals, and we learn from each other.
absolutely. Thank you for that. And right, so I chose for myself the title of Chief Synergy Officer because I love to synergize things, and this is an example of it. I mean, when we bring together all three reasons, then we have that much more power. I mean, if we're talking to somebody, if we get an opportunity to hear somebody say, God, I don't understand what's going on with this weather. I mean, maybe that's a crack that we can start talking about being plant-based. Or somebody says, I just got a diagnosis, and that's so this way we can synergize all three reasons to be plant-based because together they're so powerful. It's such a powerful absolute truth. And it's an absolute truth. So, just as if you drop a ball, it will fall to the ground. If you change what you eat, you're saving animal lives, you're improving your health, and you're helping the climate. So it's an absolute truth. And synergizing all three reasons and being able to then empower ourselves to be able to be ready for those conversations, to be prepared to practice, to build those muscles. And it was Dr. Claire Mann who started talking about this, and I so love the concept. We have gyms, and we go to gyms and we exercise and we build those muscles. Well, it's I think we fully need to recognize that this is a place to also build muscles, so that we can walk into any situation, be confident, be alert, be ready, be ready to have those conversations, and not miss the opportunities to plant seeds. So that's what that's what we're building. We're building the place, the gym, in a sense, the place to be able to practice, the place to see the experts, to learn from each other.
Right. And then exactly what you just said, learn from each other, because the more we talk and the more we have community, the more we see more reasons. I mean, like the social injustices, right? Some, like I might talk to someone tomorrow that's going to bring another reason for plant-based eating and veganism that I don't know about. So that's why community is so important. We're growing and learning from each other, and that's like the more that we gather together, the stronger we become. And we need to, I mean, one thing that I love about We Did It Health is this communication, right? And understanding others, and really we want to make sure there's no infighting, right? Again, just like extend compassion to those in romantic relationships that we're in, it still extend that same compassion that we have for the animals, for these, and then for the other vegans, right, that maybe don't have the same views as you do, but let's be compassionate and try to understand, right? Why is it you're, oh, I'd love to understand more why you think people, or what the thought behind, um, if you eat animals, you don't love them, and let that person explain it, and just have a conversation where it's not a fight, right? We just want to have an intellectual discussion, and the better we become at that, the better we're going to be able to advocate for animals. And this is what we're going to be doing in the Winter Festival, the role playing, the taking a look at what's coming. How can we get prepared, right? How can we get prepared for that uncle that's going to be making fun of us and saying, well, what are you eating? Just some lettuce like a rabbit, right? So how knowing that that's coming, right? And then Peter, you could be pretending to be the uncle, and I would be, right. And that's what we're getting ready for it, because we're building those pathways in our brain. The more we practice, just like you're saying, the more we're building those muscles. So it's essential to practice, practice, practice. Get ready. We don't want to be caught on the sidelines not ready.
Absolutely. Right. So build those muscles, practice, get the confidence, be resourceful, have the resources, have the comebacks, have the questions easily available, the conversation starters, the comebacks for the objections, and and the confidence and the knowledge. I mean, I know I have found myself so many times just feeling intimidated, not feeling ready to have the conversation. And uh, one of those experiences for me was, and this is back at the tail ends of COVID. I was on an airplane and we were wearing masks, and so couldn't have much of a conversation with the person next to me. But I found out that she was a pediatrician, right? And I think I found out that she wasn't plant-based, but I wasn't able to have a conversation with her. So what a missed opportunity, a pediatrician who, I mean, the research we have, the milk and the growth hormones in the milk. I mean, a plant-based pediatrician shared with me that they're finding 12-year-old girls with breast cancer from the growth hormones that they shoot up the cows with, and the kids are drinking. And I mean, I would have loved to been able to share something like that. Looking back, I would have loved to have had the confidence, and of course it may have helped my excuses that we were wearing masks and we couldn't really have much of a conversation. But the reality is that I wasn't ready for it. I didn't have the confidence, I didn't have the knowledge, I wasn't confident that I could I could comfortably not push her away, not offend her, communicate my truth. So so that's what we all need, because this is the core of our mission with We Did It That Health, is to grow the global vegan community, and to empower the grassroots ambassadors, because that's the huge thing that's missing. I don't think we are in a place where we can plant all the seeds we potentially could plant, and would plant.
Right. Yeah. Well, yes, I think, well, we're always growing, right? We're a seed ourselves. So, we're a little plant. We're growing, growing, growing. And sometimes the plant isn't ready to, the plant might take a break from growing. Like maybe on the plane, you weren't ready. I mean, you weren't ready to have that
I
conversation,
wasn't ready.
right? So then the plant just says, okay, well, I'm looking at myself, not with judgment, but now I'm going to be more ready. I'm going to get ready, right? So that was a nice opportunity to learn, right? Because if you didn't
Absolutely.
have that conversation, that didn't happen, you wouldn't have known, well, I need to grow more. So it's always, there are always lessons here. And how can we look at them from a neutral eye, right? Where, well, it's not good or bad. It's what's the lesson here?
Yes.
So, well, I wanted to say a little bit more about relationships, and that
Oh, please. Yes.
when you're doing things together, it really helps your relationship grow. And it doesn't always have to be about, it doesn't have to. I mean, I know a lot of times we're very focused on the vegan aspect, but again, like we don't always have to be, and it's not healthy to always be in that activist role. Sometimes we just got to be who we are, because like I said before, we are very multifaceted human beings, right? So I'm going to take off my vegan hat for the moment, and the I'm going to be like forest bathing, which I'm learning about now. I'm going to be a guide in forest bathing. So, and then, but I'll throw a little veganism into that, but that will be my main focus, right? And so when we work together with our partners and support each other, doing things, fun things together, we can take. I mean, we got to find the common interests, right, to sustain the relationship, because I mean, that's what it is. We don't want to see how are we so different. We want to focus on what do we have in common, and where can we grow from that? Where can we learn from each other? What can I learn from him, right? Like the ukulele playing, right? And I even saw he was on here. Um, that the little cat guy is right here. Well, not a little cat guy. He's a big cat guy, James. So there he is, the virtuoso drummer, virtuoso musician, right? So we're doing things together, doing the sound journeys, the forest bathing, and all this. And we're not going to be focused on what's different about us, but we're going to love what we have in common. And that's what we have to do when we have relationships with other people. We've got to find out, what do we have in common with them, because it's through those commonalities that we're going to care about other people. They're going to want to listen to us. If you don't have anything in common with someone, why should you continue a conversation?
Absolutely. Yes, and that's where and with this topic, and what we're talking about here, it's the relationship, I guess, is really, it has to be, it is, or else we wouldn't be in it. It has to be the primary thing. So we primarily are interested in that relationship, and for so many reasons beyond whether somebody's vegan or not.
Right.
And
And
that's
again, pre vegan. If we see them as pre vegans, then what are we doing to help their journey? Right. We have a lot of power, and we don't want to give it away by doing the wrong thing, setting a fire, right, or throwing a fireball on them and saying, you don't care about animals, you're eating animals. Right there, we've shamed them and we made them feel bad. Right. And that's the last thing we want to do.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I want to, can you tell us again about the festival? I mean, how can we sign up? What do we need to do to find out more?
Absolutely. So I'll put that up again. Let me find it here. Thank you for that. Um, yeah, so here it is. Right. So we did it that health slash thrive and inspire. And you should be able to actually see a link in our top menu at we did it that health. Um, and you can get a lot of information about it. It's just a huge festival. It's 3 months of probably at least three different events every week. So some of it is serious studying and practicing skills, and then some of it is just for fun. It's and maybe you want to talk about that a little bit, Mariquita, but uh, breath work and just share a little bit about the fun side of it, the festival fun side.
Well, I know Trevor's got some great ideas about some great programs with laughter yoga and yoga, mindfulness, right? Like you're saying, the breath work, um, coming together and just having that support, right? And let us know if you're watching and there's somebody that you want to see in the festival or some kind of activity that you want to see. We want to hear from you and we want to include it. So please reach out to us if you have any questions. If you if you want to be in the if you want to be in the festival like Peg, we'd love to invite you. If there's something you want to share with people, or if you have a fun event that would be that you'd like to share, please reach out to us.
Absolutely, and fun events, and we'll have information and share recipes and ideas for the potlucks and ideas, and probably have recipes for things like favorite recipes to fool pre-vegans into not getting them alerted to this is a vegan recipe. uh,
Right. Right. I love that. Yes. Yeah, we've
yeah,
got a lot of great stuff, and we're working with Stuart Waldner, and he wrote Escape the Matrix, and he's a fantastic advocate for our planet, for our climate health. So we're working together with him on some projects. We've got a lot of great things coming up.
absolutely, and of course we're so honored to have Angela Crawford and Claire Mann take such leadership in our programming and supporting everybody. So it's a very high quality series festival. It's a whole festival, and well, we haven't really planned it out yet, but I really intend for this to just be the beginning. I intend to have this kind of programming and this kind of events on a long-term basis, on a permanent basis, and we'll address that once we get into the festival and get a month or two in there. Then we'll start looking at what's next, and things like we may have a festival around longevity and health, and so we've been featuring different topics every month for a year now very successfully, and it's been really wonderful. And so we're just taking that to a whole nother level, taking it deeper and getting more really great stuff, because we are absolutely determined to be part of this huge change that we all want to see in the world. um, yes.
Right. And we are the change, right? The change is us. We are the change. So never think that you're not making a difference, because you are. And we want to hear your voice. We want you to reach out to us, right? Reach out to me with if you want to just chat. And I love connecting with people. I want to learn from you all. So please send me a DM. Peter does too. He's a great conversationalist.
Absolutely.
We want to learn from you. We care
Thank
about you. We're here to serve.
Yes, we're all students and teachers with each other, and excited to be doing this. And with that, welcome Della. And Della says yes to yoga, breath work, and recipes. And Della is it just by coincidence I was just mentioning about longevity and health, and Della is a longevity coach, and we look forward to hearing more from Della as we do our work, and certainly thrive and inspire. So we have gotten really focused, first of all, on thriving ourselves emotionally and inspiring others. But really, there's our intention with Thrive is that it's both emotional and health and physical. So thriving physically, thriving emotionally. Although right now for the holidays, it's just all that stress of being with friends and loved ones when they're celebrating, and right front and center is the unhealthy foods and the foods that are doing so much damage and harm to other living beings and killing and torturing other living beings and sentient beings. And so that's really front and center. But our health, thriving with great health, and being ready to inspire others. And we keep talking, Mariquita, we keep talking about inspiring others, and we're really thinking of pre-vegans when we say inspiring others. But it's been getting, as we're getting ready for this festival, it's getting clearer and clearer to me that it's a big piece that we're actually inspiring each other too. So um, it's such a beautiful thing to have this community and share what we're doing, and inspire each other and thriving together. That's so important. I ran into somebody this morning who's vegan, and he's just all depressed and all alone, and it's like, dude, come and join this festival. Get with the family, get with the community, get the support. And he's like, I'm so depressed. Well, you really need to be in this community. You really need to be with friends.
Right. Yes, yes. And we understand what it's like to be depressed. We've been there, right? And it's hard. Our hearts go out to you all that are watching and are feeling sad. We feel sad too. We're not minimizing it. We're just saying that we want to help, right? We're here to help you. And there are moments when we all feel sad and we all feel hopeless. And it's a part of the human experience, right? So we want to be support there to support ourselves and to support you, right? How can we better support ourselves?
Absolutely, and that's just so important. So it starts with ourselves, and we are I love to say that we're perfect. I'm perfect, I like to say, and then I like to follow that up with I'm perfectly human. I'm perfectly human in all my imperfections and all my flaws and all my mistakes, and I'm perfectly human in all the different emotions I feel. So yes, depression and joy, and that's all part of this human experience. So we all get depressed, and we all need each other to learn from and to support each other.
Exactly. Yes. And I'm excited about the festival. I'm excited about seeing the recipes and hearing from the experts. And just the fun
Absolutely.
of meeting new people is always wonderful.
Yep. So everybody, sign up. We do welcome people to volunteer, and we do gift um, uh, festival tickets and memberships for to people who support us and volunteer with our passion pods in our community. So if you're available, if you're passionate about volunteering and supporting this our work, then please reach out to us, and we'd love to have your help and support, and we'll show our appreciation with a festival ticket. And if you're too busy to do that and have other things that you're busy with, we do have a gift for you. We have a 20% off coupon, and I'm sorry to say I don't know where it is at the moment. So please reach out to Marquita or myself, and we'll be happy to offer you a 20% coupon for the festival as our gift and our thanks for being such an important part of the the early phases, the early stages of our work, because that's where we are. We're early stage, and we have some really beautiful, wonderful, magnificent people. But boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. The things that we're going to be able to do together, because we're synergizing such an amazing community here, such a beautiful community of vegan grassroots ambassadors, as well as such a wonderful group of professionals in all aspects of being vegan and plant-based.
We really are. Amen to that.
Well, so if nobody has any other questions or comments, Marquita, do you have anything else? I feel pretty complete myself.
No, I feel complete. Yeah, we'll be diving deeper into these relationship issues in the festival. So if you like this little taste, then that's another reason to join us because I want to talk to you all and hear you. I want to hear about where your challenges are, and we can do that in a Zoom room in the festival.
Absolutely, and that's kind of the primary platform for it, is with Zoom, and we're going to have some pre-recorded things for people to watch to prepare for the events. And some of you have participated in our Master Vegan Conversations 10-week program, which you and Angela hosted and facilitated, and that was our format. There is we had some videos to watch, but most of it was about breakout rooms and practice and conversation and learning. So that's pretty well our format. Again, I don't know that we'll even be using this format, the StreamYard format. I think it's going to be all with Zoom. So all the participants will get this opportunity to be in the room and live and in person and on video and having the conversations, asking the questions, doing the role plays, doing the practice.
Right, and the groups are so powerful, and the friendships formed. I can't even say. I mean, how amazing and how people are speaking from their hearts, and it's always so. It's just an impact that it's life changing.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So join us.
Join us. Join us. Yeah, reach out to us, please, if you'd like to volunteer. Reach out to us if you'd like our coupon that we'd like to gift you, and look forward to seeing you and hearing from you. And thank you, everybody, for being here. So appreciate you. And Mariquita, I love you. I so appreciate who you are and all that you're doing with us and otherwise in your work as a coach and your work as a leader at your church and the groups and the things you're doing. You're really such a role model, such an inspiration to me, and I know to so many people. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Peter. You're very inspiring to me, and this is a beautiful, beautiful, powerful community. So I'm excited to be on this journey with everyone, and you leading us, Peter. So thank you.
Thank you. So thank you, everybody. Bye.
Namaste, vegan.
Yes, namaste, vegan.